Hi, Mac users. Ready for some tips? Today, I'm going to explain why your Mac keeps crashing and how to bring it back to life. Having a reputation for user-friendly software, Macs sometimes can behave not the way you expect. Except for minor software issues that may happen when you use your Mac actively, Mac crashing may really interrupt your work and affect your productivity. So why does your Mac keep crashing? If your Mac tends to crash regularly, you'll probably see the "Your computer was restarted because of a problem" message on your screen. Usually Macs freeze as it can't deal with software installed on it or a device connected to it, so it restarts to eliminate the issue. But if your Mac crashes on its startup, watch out. These things can get worse over time and lead to a full system shutdown. Here's the most common reasons why your Mac keeps restarting. The first one is application incompatibility. In such a way, your system tries to respond to crashes of some apps on your Mac. It's a well-known rule that you need to update the apps as soon as a new version is released, but sometimes even app developers fail to fix bugs and release improved software on time. That app's inability to meet system requirements as well as respond to users' requests can put too much pressure on your macOS, making it crash. One way to prevent a Mac crash is to force quit the app that has a spinning wheel cursor, which means your machine can't handle the number of tasks in progress. The next reason for Mac restarting is a lack of system memory for software. If you're using apps that require a lot of free space to store data, like Photoshop, your computer may freeze or crash due to a lack of memory. In that case, you should consider freeing up some space or trying to replace the storage hogging app with an alternative option. One more possible reason is the heavy use of CPU. What apps did you use before the last system crash? Games, graphic editors, developer tools, and similar apps process tons of data, putting some pressure on the processor. You can also hear your Mac's fan working louder when the CPU is overly active. Such overperformance of your processor may be followed by a crash, especially when several heavy-duty apps are in progress. Hardware incompatibilities could also be a reason for the unexpected system restart. Some Mac models have removable random access memory, or RAM. If you've recently upgraded RAM on your Mac, it can turn out to be the reason behind crashes. That's why it's crucial to choose compatible parts and install them correctly. If possible, get back the original details and check whether your Mac crashes with them. But what to do if you're trying to turn on your Mac and nothing happens? All you see is black, white, or a blue screen, no matter what keys you're pressing. Here's some reasons why your Mac may act that way. Recent macOS update, third-party apps that expand the screen, corrupted display, and energy settings. Now that you know the reasons, I'll give you 7 helpful tips on how to handle a Mac crash without stress. And the first one is forcing your Mac to restart. Sounds simple, right? If your MacBook doesn't want to wake up after sleep, try to open and close it a few times, pressing some random keys on a keyboard. It may help, but if it doesn't, don't panic. Instead, try to perform a quick force restart. It can also help if your computer doesn't boot at all. First, hold down the power key for about 6 seconds. Wait for your Mac to shut down and press the power key again. Now that your display is back to the light, you should be able to do a bit of maintenance under the hood of your Mac. Often the reason for your Mac crash is broken disk permissions, not allowing your computer to boot normally. A good solution for this is to use CleanMyMac X and run the Repair Disk Permissions feature. It's the easiest way to fix damaged permissions if there are any. Using CleanMyMac X, you can also run maintenance scripts to get rid of temporary files and system logs that can interfere with Mac's performance. Here's how to do that. Get your free copy of CleanMyMac X. You can find a download link in the description below. Once you install and launch the app, go to the Maintenance tab. Check the boxes next to the Run Maintenance Scripts and Repair Disk Permissions. Then click Run to make your Mac work smoother. Well done. Let's move forward. The next tip is to disconnect all peripherals. If your Mac screen goes crazy, remove all external devices like printers or external drives. They may open their own dialog boxes, which could interfere with your display settings. Did this resolve the issue? Share in the comments. Many reported cases show that removing old cache files and broken login items can help to prevent the Mac crash. With CleanMyMac X, you can delete these culprits in a few clicks. Just head over to the System Junk tab and click Scan to let the app examine your system. Once the scan is done, hit Clean to remove all junk files. As simple as that. To remove login items, head over to the Optimization tab and deselect all apps that you don't want to launch when your Mac starts or reloads. If you can't get to the root of the problem with your Mac, you can try reverting your system to the previous backup. First, choose Restart from the Apple menu. Immediately press and hold Command-R to start up from macOS Recovery. Release the keys when you see the Apple logo. When you see the macOS Utilities window, choose Restore from a Time Machine backup and click Continue. Then select your Time Machine backup disk, or choose your startup disk, Macintosh HD, which may have a local snapshot you can restore from. Follow the on-screen instructions to complete the process. When done, restart your Mac. Did you know that making regular backups is crucial? It won't keep your Mac from failing, but it can ensure that you won't lose any data when it happens. Did you back up your Mac regularly? Let me know in the comments. Now it's time for tip number 6. Reset PRAM NVRAM. PRAM NVRAM is a small amount of memory that your Mac uses to store specific settings and quickly access them. These settings include sound volume, time zone, startup disk selection, and more. If you have problems related to these settings, resetting PRAM may fix Mac's crashing or freezing. Here's how to do that. First, shut down your Mac. Immediately press this shortcut, Command-Option-PR. Hold down the keys until you hear the startup sound, then release the keys. When your Mac finishes starting up, go to System Preferences and adjust some settings that were reset, such as time zone and display resolution. If all the approaches are failing and your Mac still keeps crashing, you may need to reinstall your operating system. Don't worry, it won't affect your files, apps, or user settings. Just play this video on your phone or any other device to follow the instructions. Start with turning on or restarting your computer. Hold down the Command-Option-R keys until you see the Apple logo. Choose Reinstall macOS from the Utilities window and click Continue. Follow the instructions to complete the process. If nothing helps and your Mac keeps crashing, try to contact Apple support. Describe your problem, providing lots of details so the agent can help you define the exact issue and fix it. That's all for today. But more useful Mac tips are coming soon, so subscribe and stay tuned. And don't forget to check the description box for more details. Let me know in the comments if any of my today's tips were helpful for you. Thanks for watching.